Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Whitney Ward in for Mark tonight. All right, let's get started. We had a very good dose of snow today, and now it is extremely cold. In fact, we are heading into some of the coldest temperatures we have seen likely in a decade. They're moving in as we speak. So we've got some photos now from today as we continue tracking the latest storm to move through the region. That includes road conditions, current plow efforts, and how this level of cold is going to impact you. Tonight, we continue our efforts to bring you the very latest information. We want to turn straight to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, right now. Jeremy, we got the snow earlier today. Not a ton of snow, a couple inches depending on where you are, but it sounds like it's really still causing problems out there on the roads tonight.
Yeah, and the real big reason for that is the cold. Temperatures are down in the teens across much of the region, and that plays a role in how well clearing the roads works. It's one of those things where we just got to keep a close eye on it. For the most part, snow is done. Still moving down to the south. We'll see it over Lolo Pass and along Highway 12. That seems to be about it. Overnight, it moves out, and then watch the little lines pop up on your screen. You can't really see them all that well. I'll enhance them for the full forecast. But basically what they say is wind moves in out of the north. How about this for your current temperature? 0 in Spokane, 0 in Grand Coulee, 5 in Omak, 8 below 0 in Deer Park. It is frigid. Next few days, nothing but cold. It is likely Thursday is even colder than today, and you saw it there. We're already on the cold side of things. For that reason, wind chill warnings in effect for wind chills of 20 to 30 degrees below 0. That is real. That is what we are going to see as we head through the next couple of days. Let's walk you through it. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to temperatures feeling like they're 15 to 20 degrees below 0 across much of the inland northwest. Then as we move into Thursday morning, that's when the worst of it hits. That is when we are going to feel like we are almost 30 degrees below 0 here in Spokane if you're out in some of those elements. The good news is that by the second half of Thursday, we will see slight improvement and then start our warming trend as we head into the weekend.
All right, Jeremy, that is something else. Thank you very much. And we know the Washington mountain passes also got slammed with heavy snow today, and they are still struggling. Right now, Snoqualmie Pass looks like it has some traffic going over it. It was closed in both directions for most of today. Chains are now required in both directions just because of multiple spinouts and very poor travel conditions right now. So let's take a look at Stevens Pass, which is back open in both directions. Chains are required, however. That's on all vehicles except those that have all-wheel drive. I-90 Lookout Pass still closed right now. The Idaho Department of Transportation is reporting very slick conditions there. And as part of our commitment to bring you more to every story, we want to continue our weather coverage and knowing that this cold weather can be incredibly dangerous. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk has more now on how people can stay safe during these types of frigid conditions.
This cold weather isn't just uncomfortable, it can be deadly. We're talking about the risk of hypothermia and frostbite. Spokane Fire Department is already seeing a rise in weather-related emergencies.
The Spokane Fire Department responded to Emerson Park in North Spokane this afternoon. Neighbors are worried about a homeless man with no legs who's been living under this playground. His name is Jason, and he told us he lost his legs to frostbite several years ago.
And it occurs fast and minus any temperatures. Unless you're covered, unless you have multiple layers, frostbite will be the first thing that occurs, and it'll slowly enter the rest of your body, slowing down your cognitive functions.
Fire Chief Brian Schaefer says crews are stopping to check on people like Jason, urging them to seek shelter.
We're not going to pass a human being that is out in this weather. We'll stop, we'll check on them, we'll let them know what's coming because this is just the beginning.
Jason refused help and said he has a plan. Neighbors have been dropping off hot water and blankets. It's not just the homeless at risk. Exposure to the cold can be dangerous for people with underlying health conditions.
For our vulnerable people or folks that are suffering from illnesses like diabetes, congestive heart failure, breathing problems, those are all exacerbated.
Young children are also at risk. Kim Resliff, a nurse practitioner at Centennial Pediatrics, says they can develop frostbite and hypothermia more quickly than adults since they're much smaller. She recommends dressing kids in multiple thin layers, and if they start to shiver, it's time to come inside. Resliff says when temperatures drop below negative 15 degrees, children shouldn't be playing outside at all.
This is nothing short of a life-threatening situation. People need to seek refuge if they're out in the cold.
And firefighters recommend keeping plenty of food, water, and blankets in your car, as well as sand or kitty litter for your tires in case your vehicle gets stuck. In Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Now moving on to Night Beat with a quick look at the day's other top stories. First, an update now from the Idaho Transportation Department. So far this season, they say drivers have caused 8 crashes with snowplows, 2 of which just happened today. One driver got between 2 of those tandem plows as they tried to merge onto the highway, then hit the brakes and forced that second plow right off the road. Then another driver in a different instance struck the second plow that was in tandem while trying to pass on the right. So please, guys, remember to give those plows plenty of room. Don't pass them. Don't tailgate them. Make sure to be patient, and also watch out for that extra snow that's blowing back from the plows because it could block your own visibility. And now to a few things to understand as the temperatures drop below zero. First, what is a wind chill advisory? Well, that means to expect very cold wind chills, more than 20 to 30 degrees below zero potentially. Temperatures that low cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 5 minutes. So currently we are in a wind chill warning, which that means parts of the area could see very cold air and strong winds. Again, meaning frostbite and hypothermia can come in quickly. Layer your clothing and please keep your pets inside. And the inland Northwest is not the only region right now dealing with a big winter blast. Our neighbors up to the north in British Columbia also seeing very heavy snowfall. In fact, it was enough to suspend the incoming flights at Vancouver International Airport and hold many of the departing flights at their gates. And in Chicago, yep, they're dealing with similar problems. In fact, they could face blizzard conditions before the storm is through. That was your Night Beat. If you'd like to learn more about any of those stories, just text the word night to 509-448-2000. And as the temperatures continue to drop, make sure to check back in with us tomorrow morning on Up with KREM because we will continue to have the very latest on this storm. Today, friends, family, coaches, and players said goodbye to Mike Leach at a memorial at Mississippi State. Leach passed away 8 days ago from a heart condition at the age of 61. Gardner Minshew played only 1 season for Coach Leach, but his impact was lasting.
Every day at Washington State in cargo shorts and like some green Asics shoes. So like for me, wearing jorts and a mustache wasn't a big deal. You know, it was pretty easy. It was only 6 months I had with Coach Leach, but he really changed my life, man. Changed how I saw myself, changed what I thought was possible for myself. And man, I really just couldn't be more grateful. And yeah, thank you, Coach.
Leach was the head coach at Washington State from 2012 to 2019. New information now out of Moscow. A white Hyundai Elantra found abandoned in Oregon is not believed to have any connection to the murder case. This comes after an initial report that a car had been found in Eugene under very suspicious circumstances. We've now learned from Moscow PD the car found is registered out of Colorado. That means that the search continues now for the original white Hyundai Elantra that police say was spotted near the crime scene that night. Also today, Moscow Police Chief James Fry addressed the public to clarify who's at the helm of this investigation.
We have a lot of resources that we're utilizing, but we still ask for your help. We ask for any tips that you might have, anything that you might be able to give us. We're going to take a look at those, but be assured that this investigation is the Moscow Police Department's, and I am the chief, and we're going to follow through with this.
So that tip line right there on your screen, 208-883-7180. You can also email any tips to that email address right there on your screen. The man accused of beating a homeless advocate who was trying to help him made his first appearance in court today. Chad Counts is facing an assault charge, and a judge set his bond at $25,000. Counts is accused of beating Robert Peeler with a hammer after he asked Counts to turn the music down. Peeler was allowing Counts to stay in his home for the past several years because he's homeless. Now a judge has imposed a no-contact order between the two. His arraignment is scheduled for next Thursday. Railroads in Southern California are closed tonight following a train derailment early this morning. 23 cars derailed carrying iron ore. More than half of those cars ended up on their sides. Cleanup crews are at the scene now to clear that crash. Fortunately, no one was injured. New dash and body cam footage shows the moment that Maryland emergency crews rescued a man from a burning car. EMS drivers came across the crash on their way to another patient. They stopped, smashed that window out, and managed to pull the driver to safety as flames engulfed that car. The driver at the time was unconscious from the crash. He was rushed to the hospital and his condition is unknown, but very dramatic video. Well, thousands and thousands of fans gathered in Buenos Aires today to celebrate Argentina's huge win in the World Cup final. The country's president even declared today a national holiday. One man seen waving an Argentinian flag from the top of the capital's very tallest monument. The World Cup win has brought some much needed good news for a country that's been stuck in economic turmoil for years. That was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time, but we are not done yet. When we come back, winter storms across the nation mean holiday travel headaches. Which airports are experiencing the most traffic, delays, and cancellations? Also, the Zags back in the kennel tonight for the first time since jumping up in the AP poll. When we return, KREM 2's Andrew Quinn breaks down the game. We're back in just 90 seconds.